Hello, everyone. It's been 2 months, but I am back. I don't have the greatest excuse for being as long as I have been gone. At the time, I was doing a lot of school stuff, but in the past month, I've been on summer break, but I think now is a good time to resume this. Because I've just had a lot on my mind recently, so I'm like, well, I guess this should be a place where I can let some of those thoughts out, but the first thing I want to talk about today is, or the topic of this video, is to not change yourself for someone else. And I'm going to start by talking about this by telling you just a bit of a story. Because back in 7th grade, when I was 13, I got my first girlfriend. And my only girlfriend I've ever had. I got called after school one day, and I got asked, and everything was telling me no. Every part of me, but I was like, I've never had this experience before. And so I said, yeah. And I felt like I had some sort of feeling inside of me where it was like, it wasn't bad, but I just felt like I was in the wrong place. And over the course of a few months, when I was with this person, I didn't really feel like myself. Like, it was such an odd feeling. It was one of the only times in my life where I've actually felt like I'm not fully there. Like I'm not every day I wake up and it's just I look in the mirror and it's just not me. And part of that was because I felt like this person was all that I cared about. So I felt like I had to kind of change myself accordingly and try to be exactly what they wanted. Now, this person isn't evil. They didn't do that. This isn't their fault. They didn't persuade me into being like this. But that's what I kind of felt myself doing, and it kind of felt like I was walking on eggshells around this person. I kind of switched my humor for this person. I only talked to this person. I felt like I changed my hobbies so this person would like me more. I thought that would work and that would matter or anything, but it didn't. I stopped playing video games, and for my entire life, that's been my number one hobby. I stopped kind of being myself, like around my family and like friends, and I kind of just avoided friends entirely. This person was like, because it was, to me, it was like I was 13 and I didn't know how anything worked. I didn't know what I was doing. But I just kind of look back on this moment, these couple month period, and I just think like it's fine to be yourself even if other people don't like it. Because as soon as we broke up, and it wasn't anything serious. It was just kind of like, oh, this is not gonna work out. We're 13. What are we doing? I felt so relieved. Like, I just felt like everything that I once had before I had a girlfriend just all came rushing back. And all the things I had lost were just right back with me in that moment. And again, I'm not trying to blame anyone for this, but I think it's important to understand that if you feel like you have to be a certain way outside of your personality from someone, I just don't think it's worth your time and energy to actually be around them. And this counts for not just like girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse, whatever. This also is friends and maybe even family. Because as soon as someone that I feel like I have to act a certain way around comes in the room or is with me, for example, or whatever, I instantly just like crumble. Like I just feel super uncomfortable and I start talking weird. I start acting like a lot different. And honestly, that change in behavior affects the other people in the room or just the people in general that are around. And I just think it's important to understand that you should just avoid these people. Because I think if your personality, you're doing things that like upset people. Like if you're saying slurs and you say that's your personality, that's not cool or like funny or whatever. But I think a lot of people need to understand that people act certain ways because that's who they are. I think a lot of people don't understand that like the world isn't about them, and when something bad happens to them, the other person's evil because you're just getting targeted. Like I just hate that. And back to the story, yeah, when I felt so free, I started playing video games again. I started hanging out with friends. I didn't talk to this person anymore, but it just made me realize how much time I was sort of wasting. It kind of felt like the time period when I was with this person just felt so wasted because I couldn't be myself. Like that's got to be one of the worst feelings in the world is when you have to like change with no motivation or like no reason. There's no reason to change. You just kind of feel like it's important because you care about someone else. But I've also learned that in that same relationship that you should put yourself before others because I've always been someone that's kind of cared for others and always wants other people to be happy or welcome or feel comfortable, but by caring so much about other people like that, I've kind of forgotten about how important it is for me to feel like myself. Because my entire life, I've been building up my personality and like who I am. And I'm not just gonna throw all this stuff away because someone doesn't like a part about me. Because that's just kind of them blatantly telling that they don't want to be around you, so you should avoid them. But I think if you want to change for someone else and you're perfectly okay with it, I would just say, not, you shouldn't be blamed or anything, but you should just kind of look at yourself and just kind of ask yourself in the mirror, is this like something I really want? Because that's kind of something I had to do because I was not really understanding that I was hurting myself as much as I was by caring about others more than myself until you just look at yourself in the mirror. Like physically, I'm the same. That's not something I have to worry about. But mentally, just looking at myself, it's just like you why have I not been caring for myself as much as I should have? Because these people, they could be temporary. They might not be in my life for that long. Why do I have to change myself and spend this time with them just so this short-term temporary person in my life can feel slightly more comfortable around me? Why do I have to change? And pretty much to resolve that, you don't. You don't have to change it all. Every person's different. Every person reacts differently. There should be no shame in being yourself. Unless, of course, before you're just like saying slurs and stuff, and that's your personality. But what I want to say in conclusion of this video is to put yourself first and don't let other people influence how you act or feel like you have to act differently around someone. Because if they get mad at who you are, then they can suck it. Who cares? They're a loser then. It doesn't matter. Just don't lock yourself out. Take care of yourself and just understand that you matter. It's not about the other person. Don't just change because you want to help someone else. The only time you should change in your life is if it will genuinely benefit you. And I don't mean that in a selfish way. I mean that in a way that makes sense. Change for the better. Don't let other people control you. And just love yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're really the only one that matters. In a way. But thank you for watching. I love you guys. And I'll see you later.